I'm looking very fabulous tonight.
Yeah,
You haven't dressed up as me.
Look, I'm sorry. I mean, I got my hair retouched on the weekend, so that's something.
Looking fabulous.
Thanks, friend. Well, look, you're dressed up enough for both of us, so we can go with that.
We've got the matching reds.
It's so good. Look, he makes this stuff himself. Amazing. Yeah. Well, it's your turn to be interviewed because you've been running around like a headless chook, interviewing all of us.
Yeah.
And so it's
Somebody has to make you guys look good.
Well,
I have a very easy job.
Thanks, man. We've all got our own role in the band.
Somebody deserves a cushy job, and that's me.
Well, it's fair. Like, you probably expend the most physical energy out of all of us playing your instrument.
Oh yeah, gotta keep cardio. Need good cardio to drum in a metal band.
Speaking of that, so drumming for Chrysalis for this album. What have you done differently this time? Like, what are some of the new things you've tried for this album?
Well, I'm going to redirect you and talk about, we played a show on the weekend. We've been amping it up for ages. We saw you all on Saturday night.
Yes.
And we played a lot of these new songs that I'm about to absorb your question. We played 4 in front of my face, 4 of our new Chrysalis tracks.
Well, technically 5 tracks on Chrysalis.
True.
But one of them everyone's heard, which is Monster Within.
Everyone knows the Monster Within. But we did, yes, Monster, of course. But we also brought out Garden, Phoenix, Shapeshifter, and Midnight. Well,
I'll be really pedantic and say the full title is Garden of Unearthly Delights.
Yep.
But we can't reveal the track listing yet, but yes.
That was a tiring night for me. As I was just saying, lots of cardio in drums. And when we follow up our 2 very power metal tracks, Garden of Unearthly Delights, and the Phoenix, very tiring to get through them both. Yeah.
All the double kicks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially Phoenix. When we first started writing it, I just went, the Master of Puppets riffs fit over this perfectly. It was quite amazing, actually. So I did take a few ideas from that.
Oh yeah, and just throw in a Tornado of Souls solo and Don't Tell Me. Classic. Yeah. Just make it all the thrash bits.
The Phoenix is really just Master of Puppets and Tornado of Souls in one.
It's not. It's very original. Don't sue us. Yeah, but we are heavily influenced by some of those bands, yes.
We've got some Phoenix footage. I'll put it in the video later on. But we played Phoenix, following up Garden of Unearthly Delights, which was another very fast. Both, one of them was 175 BPM, the other's 180. Then we got to chill out with Shapeshifter. Well, that's my chill out song, because it's a little bit slower than the rest.
Well, it's more of a ballad. Yeah. Like, it's definitely got some really intense
You'd say it's 150 BPM. I'd say it's 75.
We will never agree about this.
Well, I'm playing it at 75. You may be playing, 8th notes at 150. I'm playing at 75. Nice and slow, which is good. But I bring in some few different ideas. We've got some very Dimmu Bourgeois, Dimmu Borgir type sections in that song. Now
I'm just getting images of, the higher classes listening to Dimmu as the French bloody revolution is bashing at their doors.
Pitchforks out.
Turn this off, it's not
enough. This is clearly what the song was about. But, I've got lots of very fast pedals through there that keep me going. Bit of tom action. So those are fun, but also the chorus. I appropriated a very funk beat for the chorus and then played Wailing on the China, very Lars Ulrich style. It sounds somewhat more metal and proggy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's a really, really interesting flavour to have in that song because it's quite, the way it's written, it's quite a lot more progressive than some of the stuff that we have written in the past. So yeah.
It goes on a lot of the songs go on journeys, don't
We
they?
do. We're all about journeys here. You've probably guessed.
Not so much as Chrysalis, but
No, that's
Shapeshifter definitely does.
Shapeshifter. You know, you're leaving the Shire. You're taking the first step. Chrysalis is like, we're committing to going to Mount Doom. We're going to chuck that ring in there. We're going to do it.
Yeah,
And we're going to survive.
yeah, we're going to yeet a golem in there too. And and then we finished up the night with Midnight, which is, I'd say the two biggest meandering sort of journey songs are Midnight and Chrysalis on the album. And Midnight's a lot of fun to play. That's a bit more interesting because I start that one off with a marching drum kind of pattern going away. Bap, 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 bap on the snare. Later on I get to play a nice 6/8, folky tom groove.
Love the folky bit.
And then we finish off as a power ballad right at the end.
Send it off.
You're soaring with the vocals. Pat's having his guitar solo. I'm having a drum solo at the same time. It's fun. Talking about your question again on where I was.
We full circle. We got back there.
I finally wrapped it around. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, talking about some of the other songs we haven't talked about yet. I've brought a lot of the standard metal sort of drumming to it, and then some of them and then I try and bring a bit more excitement into it. I think if you listen to Monster Within, you can definitely hear there's a little bit of those funkier, disco-ier ideas in that chorus there. I think Bate said so the other week. So to
be a fair assessment.
One of the songs, what's it called? Break Stuff?
It's not. Stop trying to make Fred Durst happen. It's not gonna happen. It's called Break.
Break. That's it.
And we can break whatever we like.
Well,
it's metaphorical.
You can pick up the chocolate chrysalis and the phoenix flavoured water on a streaming service soon. Break. I took a very hip-hop approach to the drumming. I was going way different. I went, it's time to be new and exciting. So I was listening to some track beats and went, this is more interesting. This is what I want to bring along this time.
A little creative flavour in there.
That was probably the most out there choice I made. Then we get to the end of the song and Michael says to me, put some Lars Ulrich beat, some fills in there on the snare, and I just went, we're going for this.
No, but it really works for Break because it's probably our least kind of what you'd think of as traditional symphonic metal song. It's very modern. It does have quite a few, I would say, like an urban kind of flavor in there. It brings in a lot of different genre influences. It's quite different. Quite different to a lot of the songs on this album, but definitely to what we've done in the past. So bringing in that hip hop beat actually kind of does work.
And I think the fact that I came in with that straight after you'd written it. And then that was back when, what was it, August last year we first tried playing it? And Ralph went, oh, that's actually a really good beat to rhythm guitar to. So it just kept growing from there. Yeah,
we kind of like built around it, and then with that really interesting framework with the drums, it's like some amazing guitar riffs flourished out of that, and it just built this really cool modern track. So
check it out. You'll love it
when it's out.
Get a time machine, travel to futures.
To the future, when it is out.
Listen to it, come back, comment below how much you love song. Very good.
Duh.
Okay. So what else should we have a chat about?
So definitely something that is really unique and interesting about you in particular is you're a multi-instrumentalist. It's not just drums. You're a proficient, prodigious pianist. You've played in lots of different symphonic bands, just like literally symphonic bands and orchestras. So there's such a strong and diverse classical background that you have that you've brought to metal. Like, how has that influenced how you approach writing for metal for drums?
Yeah, well, it's definitely like I'm a bit more straight down the path when I think about things.
Yeah.
I think very in terms of sheet music, and I do write out all my parts, which makes it much easier to remember them. But yeah, and it does help me come up with these orchestrations we did. So I think the first
We can talk about that.
Yeah, first song I started the orchestrations for was Shapeshifter.
Oh, way back in the day, wasn't it?
That was ages ago. That was before I even asked you if you wanted to join me to do some orchestrations.
You left me out.
Yeah, a lot of those, because we added a little bit to that, but a lot of those, like the two Demu Bourgeois sections and the...
It gets me every time.
and the outro I had going straight from the very beginning. And I came up with those I was thinking very orchestrally because that's where I'm from. And, you know, I just had those ideas pretty much came to me straight away. So Shapeshifter isn't my most exciting song to drum to. They're just a natural fact of what's going to happen on those slower tracks.
Yeah.
So I felt I wanted to be a bit more creative and keep going with it, which is where our orchestrations come from. Yeah, I definitely got some of the ideas on that midnight track with the intro, that snare drum, it was more of a field drum, marching band drum kind of line that I was thinking of when I came up with that. So these things you just pick
full
up.
Circle.
Yeah. You got to tie everything from your whole life into just one creation of musical perfection. Yes, I do like to keep, I do listen to a lot of orchestral stuffs too, to this day, which is very interesting to me. Kind of why I joined this sort of band. I wasn't about to join some weird metalcore band. That's just not my thing. No offense to you metalcorers. Love you.
We do, yeah. I absolutely love metalcore. I have definitely a huge soft spot for it. But yeah, symphonic metal, I think, for you and I, as far as heavy music goes, like that was where we started. Like that's home for us. That's home for me.
Yes.
I can return to my favorite symphonic metal bands and be like, oh, every time, and it's just this amazing feeling of like, this is the music that I have always wanted to create. This is it, I don't know if that's how you feel, but that's how it felt for me.
Yeah, it was just the perfect storm of music.
Yeah, that's right. I love that. Oh. Title of our next album.
Spoiler alert. It's already half written. Definitely.
It's definitely not.
That's probably a good place to wrap it up. We'll
Thanks.
say goodbye.
Auf
So
Wiedersehen.
long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Goodbye for now.
Not forever.
Not forever.
What show was that from?
I don't know.